the studio today, I have two guests that are coming to really talk about the music, the message, and a lot of different things. That is so funny that in our conversations I've been having with people, we've been discussing things like this for such a long period of time. So let me ask on the first of all. I could call it by the entire government names because I have a nice little list here, so I could call it.
Well, once you could pronounce my government name, good, I have no problem.
all right. So we have on the inside, we have Christopher Charles, aka Logiq, right? And we have Theophilus Edwards.
See it?
Yes, you see it?
It's Theophilus.
Edwards. Shaney is on the inside as well too. Killer, you might stop back from the killer or the. That's right. That's no problem. Good. Guys, welcome inside GMGT. Good evening. Welcome to Brooklyn, New York. Welcome to the studio. How are you guys doing today?
It's a pleasure being here. You know, so far, my day, kind of a little bit chilly. You know, me just come from the tropical climate, so me kind of have a chilly day.
I'm
having a chilly day.
So you just came from Trinidad?
Jamaica.
You just came from Jamaica?
Yeah.
So what the weather was like in Jamaica before you left?
Tropical. Hot.
Right. And so you come here into, well, they would say Fahrenheit, but you come here into, we'll call that Celsius, like 19 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Celsius. That's a little bit too chilly for you.
Chilly.
Logiq, what about you? You all right with that, or there's a first for you as well too?
Nah, getting used to it.
You're getting used to it?
Yeah, getting used to it.
You're getting used to it.
You can't really get used to it ever. I know it coming.
Funny enough, like as you rightfully say, when you know it coming, you understand how to expect it. Yeah. You understand how to expect it. Guys, once again, thank you guys.
This matter, I couldn't expect the unexpected, because I never expect it.
You know? so I don't want to assume, is this your first time?
Yeah.
This is your first time?
Very much first time traveling the United States. Really?
So here's a question I want to ask you. I'll start with you first and come back to Logiq. As a first timer, from the things that you would have heard when you was younger, and obviously things that you would see on TV, how similar or how different has your experience been since landing here from what you thought it was to what it actually is?
My experience landing here to seeing certain things just make me know it's a social media lie.
Right.
Lie.
Yes, sir.
Because them sell with this image back home, you dig?
Yes, sir.
Right.
And thing. Not saying that the place is not nice and everything, but when you come and actually see it for yourself, and it's just similar life back home, but just a faster movement.
Right. Mm-hmm. And when you say faster movement, is that something that you think you of yourself could get accustomed to? Is that something that you think that you can acclimatize yourself?
Anything you put your mind to, you can make it happen.
Right. Well, I know this is not your first time here at all. So
no.
How does it feel to be back in Brooklyn?
The energy nice, man.
The energy nice. As you're on that note, obviously you guys have been making waves with the music. Coming from the Caribbean, what has been the response to the music in this environment? For you first, and then Shane, you after.
When I say what has been the response, I mean like for in America, Brooklyn?
Yeah, from people hearing the songs and hearing the tracks.
Yeah, I mean, the music traveling, the music does travel. It have a good wave out here.
Right.
You know, it's just, well, I'm not accustomed to these stations, because I don't play radio stations in my car, so I wouldn't know whether this radio playing it, that radio, you know, that type of way.
Right.
But I know the grounds have it.
Right.
You know, I know when I go Brooklyn, I know when they see me certain places, they see me, hey, Logiq, look, you know, that type of way.
Right.
So yeah, I know the music does move. Plus when I go certain places, I hear anything cars, I hear anything shops, I hear anything stores, you know. So yeah, I know the music reaching.
You know, for both of you, one of the things I could say is that we are radio, but we're also internet radio as well. Right. And we have the advantage of being a visual station where you can see the interviews, but you can also follow it on an app.
Right.
And you just said something where you don't really listen to radio that often, but to the people that take it in your music, do they really listen to radio? People are really still listening to radio, conventional radio.
So there's the thing. So this is what I'm saying. So that's what I say, and not in a bad way. It's just that, you know, we just listen to we music as we build it. Right. So, you know, we have a folder with a couple songs that we listening during the day. So, and people not really gravitating to the radio stations for the music as much as social media.
Right.
You know, so most of the time social media have the music louder than the radio station. Some radio stations pick up the music after social media.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when it comes to that, I would say that yes, the radio have it play, because it's still are the people who just listen to the radio, who like the talk shows and stuff like that.
Right.
You know, so they would tune into the radio for that.
Right.
You know, but the social media is the platform today where music, you know, is exposed.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
right.
yeah.
Coming from somebody that was in radio in Trinidad and Tobago, doing the #1 station there for a couple of years, it still is awkward to me that social media building their song faster than the radio.
Well, on my reports and my streams,
right,
my acceptance in New York so far as being here, I'm getting a good response. Even though I'm not doing any major events or anything, I just jump around, check 2 friends and I will lime, and then but randomly other people would walk up and recognize that Shaney. But on my streams and my reports, my statements, my top cities in the United States, it's New York.
Right.
I might not be able to hear the radio because, as I tell, it's my first time traveling. So back home I couldn't tell, I wouldn't know a website or login address where I could follow a radio station online, but I could tell on my report from Apple Music and them, like by iHeart radios and all of them radios, I could see what radio spinning my songs in the New York.
Right.
You understand? So on my terms, I would say radio give me a more push, because social media not give me that push now. So for me, it's different with Logiq. Logiq would say the social media, but for me, I get more feeds from the radio.
Right. Something that came up to me in conversation a couple of weeks ago, and I was just talking to both of you all about that before we started the conversation. You're originally from Jamaica,
but I rep Trinidad straight.
You rep Trinidad straight. So you lived in Trinidad for how many years?
Well, I haven't lived. Well, you have to say I lived there. I lived there since 2015.
You lived Trinidad.
You lived Trinidad.
Since 9 years.
You know, usually when somebody say you live Trinidad, you know what? You understand what I say? So this is a discussion that I was having with somebody the other day in terms of what we said was the state of reggae and, more importantly, dancehall music. In some circles, individuals saying that, you know, reggae and dancehall right now is not in a balance from how it was before, right? If you look at the builders of where we are right now, like Beenie Man, Bounty Killer, etc.
To me,
right?
I wouldn't say there was a balance in reggae and dancehall before.
Right.
Because dancehall is more like for the hype, the party and the street. A reggae is a message.
Right.
So it will be 2 different balance there.
Correct.
With reggae, you could be going through something. Even though you have some dancehall songs, you could still be going through something and it could free your day. But when you go into a deep reggae song, no matter what problem you're going through, you could always listen to a reggae music and free your day. What
do you guys think, and I'll ask you this first and then you could chime in on that after, is the biggest misconception right now with this, if you want to call it, new dancehall movement? What do you think is the biggest misconception?
As in terms of dancehall, like you would say there's a transition to dancehall or something, with the trap dancehall or Trinidad dancehall.
Correct.
Well, everybody doing dancehall, you know, I wouldn't say there's any difference between it. It's just that the youths nowadays coming with a different style and pattern.
Right.
More melody, more flows, other than before. Because remember back then, legendary artists, them, the icons.
Right.
Those used to have like a thing where they had to do one track, one take.
Right.
Now it's a modern world where we could say delete that, or we could say keep that, we could say continue our back then.
Right.
The icons couldn't do that.
Right.
You understand? But now it's just that it just advanced, just like the world advanced, you just have to adapt to it. So even with Cartel doing dancehall and Cartel in our era right now. So you would say Cartel change from the original dancehall? No.
Right.
It just transition over to the current situation that going on right now.
Right.
So I wouldn't say there's no difference with it.
You go ahead.
So I think for me, what you said was misconception. So for me, I think the fact that they categorize the music to a certain genre
that's why I say there is no difference between it, no misconception. I wouldn't put it. Just saying that the youths are bringing a different style to it.
Right.
But it's same dancehall. There's no trap in dancehall or anything. It's dancehall. Dancehall is dancehall.
Correct. So now let me tell you what I think we need to get to, because I don't think the problem is the music, because the music is still the same, just transition to this time, and like my boy just say, right? I think the problem is how we balance the music.
And when you say balancing music, what is your interpretation?
How we spread the music. You see, we just spread only one thing because that one thing creates that hype, especially with these new age DJs. Right. So these new age DJs that it come like an artist running for a bus. Artist who running for a bus, he running down what happening to bus. Right. Same thing with a DJ. So if badness is the attention right now, the artist running down attention to bus. It's the same thing with the DJs. So the DJs only playing badness to bus. Right. So right there is where you have that trap in where that type of music alone is being spread. You understand? So it don't really have a balance in the platform to say long time in the old school days of DJing. DJs would actually find a song and bill it. That is when the radio had power over social media. Right? In this time now, the DJs don't bill a song anymore.
But even at that point, and I always like to refer to the story with Puffy and the Notorious B.I.G. Forgetting what Puffy and jail for now, but you forgetting that part of it. But just for the purpose of the conversation, I always remember watching a documentary, and when Puffy met with Biggie, he was like, Biggie, yo, I really like your style, your flow. But I think that some of these tracks that you have, for you to get more mainstream popularity, you need to sing like softer tunes or tunes with like Mary J and tunes that speak to a wider content for you to be able to spread what you're doing on a bigger platform. Do you think, based on what you just said, that is like the same issue with the dancehall movement right now?
You see, what I think is, and it's very hard to class the old school with this timing when it comes to how they market or push the music, right? Because in this time, and we have a lot of young management who don't even understand how to manage artists, you know, so they don't even like how we would have used that example just now, that they would have still guide the artists that, hey, maybe we should open this avenue and see where you could go with this type of music, right? We do harder in this generation, right? The majority of the managements as well running down the hype too. So they're keeping the artists at this place. Now
so
also
majority of the damagement. They're damaging the artists.
Damagement. I love that term. Damagement.
Perfect.
That is your term, or that's a term. That is your term. So listen, if anybody hear that term outside, that word is copyrighted to shit. Right? Damagement. I love it. Right. Continue.
Yeah. So the mere fact that these damagement do have the education as well, and even to just touch on that further from that, is a lot of these so-called management are street men, men who are calling young leaders and stuff like that, so they don't really have business or, let me say, industrial, like the music industry knowledge, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Say it as it is. The man them wanna manage the artist just to book and make a pocket money. They're not thinking about the investment in the artist career of the artist going forward.
Hold on. I would agree, but I would still, you see, when knowledge lacks, I wouldn't just write off somebody. So I would say, maybe if these brothers have knowledge of what the world could do with music, they probably will do something different. So again, it goes right back to the hype. So the management on hype, the DJs on hype, the artists on hype. Now the hype keeps you right here, because you're not getting corporate work with hype.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
you're not getting no big
the argument can
able to sign you
the argument can be said that influencers right now is hype and they getting corporate workers. So
yes, you have to understand is
but and even if influencer is hype right now, he have a strong management team or support team.
Sometimes
making sure the one that's striving to success, making sure business is getting done, even though he's of the hype.
I agree, but that's different. You see, when we talk about these influencers, you talk out of music.
Right.
That's a different category by itself.
Right.
Social media influencers, they could do what they want because they create that with platform social media. That is them platform.
Right.
You can mix that with music.
Right.
Music have a way to do things. If this thing don't have an order, it's not going to work.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You can't watch what this one doing on social media and try to do the same. If you understand what I'm saying, and expect it to work with music.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Music needs good management, good production, good teamwork. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of groundwork that music need. And I just want to touch on something different to just show you why the music have this tangle with it.
Right.
You see, music now is not like the music then. Music then was about someone with talent.
Right.
And when I say talent, I mean a vocals, could play a guitar, could play this, could play that. Now what we have in the industry is strictly hype. Just do anything to get you people attention, whether it's bacchanal, whether it's pick on somebody, anything.
Right.
And you could now use that as a song. You could now use that and you don't need to have a melody. You don't need to be no lyrics. You don't need to have
no good lyrics. Just put it on TikTok.
Just put it on TikTok.
So on that note, and for both of you, I'll ask you first. Given everything that he just said, what for you do you do for yourself as an artist and as somebody who puts together tracks to kind of get away from that part of building music just for the hype and more because of for your own self?
Well, for myself, to keep my career on a balance or to keep away from certain things that would tamper with my careers, as I have my social media platform, as Logiq tell you.
Right.
It's reached to the terms where like social media is more influential. So what I will do, despite I might not have the streaming on the social media, I will go live on my Instagram or live on my TikTok.
Right.
I would vibe with my people, interact more with my people, tell them where to go and stream my music.
Right.
I will interact with my fan base on TikTok and Instagram and let them know that is what coming or whatever. Always keep that little thing to maintain myself, you understand?
Right.
So that's how I maintain my balance right there in my career, other than the radio plays, as I tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
And Logiq, what about you?
Well, for me, for a moment, I really did get the music, the industrious.
Right.
Not the music, because I love my music. But I did get the whole industrial respect.
Right.
With all the set of controversy going on with the, Trinidad and them kind of vibes.
Right.
But for me, so what I plan to do really is, and this is what I think we need to do as artists more, and I would take this as a lesson for myself.
Right.
We need to create our own platform, understanding that every individual artist has his own fan base.
Right.
So yes, as much as we could say, hey, the radio doing this and this one doing that and that one doing this, you still have to do
your duty, yeah.
At the end of the day. So for me, it's just for me to say, you know what, I go and put in this work and I put in this work for me.
Right.
You understand? And whoever it is, whoever is my fans that, interested in what I'm doing, I go do that for them. Me doing it for the mainstream, me doing it for the radio, me doing it for the hype. You know what I mean? And you can't save the world. I think that is one of my problem too.
He said try to save the world.
Yeah, you can't save the world. And I honestly think that's one of my problem, right? Because one of my issues was, let me get in deep. I was never interested. I wouldn't say interested. I wasn't the big hey, I want to boss, I want to be the artist.
Right.
I was the type that more like to see everybody do it.
Right.
You know, so I like to be in the back. Hey, watch, hey, let me do here. You could do this, you could do that. You know that type of way? And it's just certain situations that take place whilst I pushing people and I realize, but wait, you can't push somebody who do wait for themselves.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then it's who you go push, who go run off and forget you on the journey.
Right.
So that is when I decide, hey, I just put this into yourself.
Right.
And that is when I really start, pushing out. So my thing is, I always feel like I always want to see the youths and them thing together, and I want to see the radio station make a way for the youths and them, and you understand what I'm saying? And I think I just need to just lay off of that and just do me.
Right.
And be contented with doing me and know that I can save the world. Whoever youths come around the circle and what are forward and willing to learn, I always do.
Talk about that. I usually call that Clark Kent syndrome. When they're trying to save everybody, but you need to save yourself first. What is the inspiration for you? Because the answers to that will actually lead to my next question after. But what is the inspiration for you towards the way you put together music? Like where do you genuinely draw your inspiration from?
Well, it's always reality. Every single one of my songs stem from something I've been through, something I go through in the life. So it's always from
something happening in the surrounding.
Yeah, it's always something close, so and I always like music. Like I say, I always around, I was in the background, I always, making some,
right.
Yeah. So eventually if you realize most of my music come from pain, the music that I release come from pain. So I started putting that passion there, when listening to the rhythms, listening to the instrumental, I guitar playing, and then I go sing what happening.
Right.
You understand? I go rhyme what happening. And that is basically my inspiration.
Shane, is that the same for you, or?
Yeah, my inspiration is all about what happening in my surrounding or something happening in communities I growing up or in my countries. So whatever I see, whatever impact going on in my country or whatever happening around my surrounding, anything, I just take that and to build a song. Whether it's something negative, I try to make the positive out of it, you understand? So but one of my biggest impact what really pushed me, and every time I reflect on that, is my cousin, you understand?
Right.
I used to have a cousin who used to do music, Corey Marital family, my money, haha.
Right.
Mm-hmm. After I passing of his death, that's when I decided, like, how to do this. Sometimes I feel like throwing in the towel and thing, and sometimes I reflect and saying, you had this man to keep up the legacy for you are the family artist, you dig?
Yeah.
So sometimes that thing, give me that rage harder. Understand?
Do both of you all think that is like one of the similarities that goes across the board now? Because listening to a lot of music, not just from the two of you all, but from a lot of artists right now that are doing dancehall in that way, everybody, it just seems like everybody's singing from pain and trauma, so and not to cut you across, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just means that you take what you feel and invest it into something
as an entertainer, a musician, artist.
Right.
I think you ought to be creative.
Right.
So something happening in your surrounding or around the world, another person could reflect on what you're singing about. But if you're just gonna get up and do a song where like you're trying to do something and you don't really, some might work some people still, because I see some song where don't really make no sense and it work. You understand? But I think if you create something something that's actually happening in the world where somebody could reflect on, you will get more impact from that as an entertainer.
Right.
Where somebody could relate to. You understand? So for artists to be creative, you're going down the road, you see a youth a kick a buckle in a road, you sing about the buckle, you just see that youth a kick a buckle.
Right.
You know, and build a little thing off of it and I guarantee every youth will kick back car. You go have other youths will kick back from them here that you understand.
Right,
can relate to that. So automatically that go become a little thing for them. So you have a little song right. They just is it?
Yeah.
Be creative with whatever in your surrounding.
Yeah. Logiq, you was gonna say something.
I lost my chain of thought.
Well, yeah, as we're on that note, just coming up about 20 minutes to go before 4 o'clock here inside the Midday Therapy. Logiq and Shaney inside here with Shamari Carroll, DJ Kayla G, GMGT, where the culture lives. One of the major things I was discussing with you guys when you came in is this issue of being from Trinidad and Tobago, right? Because you say rep Trinidad and Tobago every time.
Yeah, for sure.
You say inside Trinidad.
Yeah, man.
The man say inside when we say right. There is the notion by many that as a Trinbagonian, you're supposed to represent for soca and calypso first, right? Now, my thing is, whatever it is that you creatively called to do, But the argument that was made to me by one of my DJ friends is that there's a large cross-section of people in entertainment and even outside entertainment that can't connect with soca just because soca is always about happy, jolly, drink, jump, bottle, party, wine on girl, going all inclusive, etc., etc. When you have guys like you who, as you say, a lot of your songs may come from pain, not all, but at the same point in time, your life experience might not necessarily be the same life experience that you get from soca. Is that something that you agree with, disagree with, or you see it in a different way?
It's just about perspective. So here's my point of view to that. And so the reason I would believe that soca, because notice that soca is the only music that do last through the year in we place.
Right.
Soca is just for a time. And that's because of the fact that you cannot whine and jam every day.
Technically.
Right? Now, understand what I'm saying. 5 days in a week you work.
Correct.
And probably on the 6th day you go party.
Correct.
Right? So 5 days out of your week is real.
Is reality.
And 1 day of the week is just your dream.
Is entertainment.
Lovely.
Right.
So 5 days of the week, what music you can listen to? Reality music.
Right.
It's for me. That's just my view on it.
So do you think in that regard that soca kind of for want of a better term, kind of cutting its leg off in the sense of because we're not seeing past the 1 day of the week, if I use the analogy that you just gave me,
right?
Are we not seeing the other 5 days with the 7th day being the Sabbath, right? But because you're not seeing it that way, the music itself is not necessarily going to have the longevity that it's supposed to have.
I don't think, and there's the thing, no, I think soca music have, to me, soca music from my time coming up,
right?
Jump and wave, jump up and wave, is still a vibe.
It's still a vibe.
Again, it goes back to what they play.
Right.
That makes sense?
Right.
It goes back to what they play. Because nothing wrong. I don't see soca as a dying song. Because you pull back all them old soca on the truck on a Carnival Tuesday, on a Monday, people jumping up the same way.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying? I think the issue, now I'm not a soca artist. I really want to think, but I could give a point of view.
No, this is a free conversation. Right. I appreciate your point of view. Yeah.
You're right.
No, yeah. Right. Anyway.
Right. So for me, what I would say for me is that the soca music doesn't have. It's like soca music stagnant with the same set of artists. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that is where the whole argument and everything really is. Because the time of soca, I don't see an issue with it.
Right.
The time with soca. Because, and it's not like soca, they just play for the week. From the time Christmas done, we heading into soca. So soca playing from Christmas straight till Ash Wednesday, and you will still get 1-2 days right?
And to be fair with that, you have so many other islands right now that have carnivals during the course of the year.
Correct. So soca runs during the year, just not in one place. Right. So because right after Carnival Trinidad is Carnival So, is Carnival So, is Carnival So. Right through the year, these artists moving. Right. So I personally don't see an issue with the time frame that soca music has its place.
Right.
You understand? Because again, like I would say, can you really listen to soca music every single it had the soca lovers and I'm against them.
Nah, I don't. I understand.
I'm not against them at all.
Because I was just having that conversation.
Because even and the reason why I could still agree to some soca lovers who could listen to soca every day is because there's also different types of soca.
Right.
It's not just power; it's a groovy. You understand what I'm saying? But I still personally wouldn't listen soca whole through the year.
Right.
But I could listen reggae music, dancehall music, R&B, hip hop every day. You understand what I'm saying?
Shady, why you don't want to have a point to me?
I have a lot of soca friends and I don't want to
listen. You see. Listen.
So
just because you have an objective or subjective opinion doesn't necessarily mean that your thought.
But as I say from earlier, things around your surrounding create your impact.
Right.
In whatever music you're doing.
Right.
If you look into the world right now, you could count on your hands how many young youth doing soca music.
Right
now. So it all come back to the reality as well. Logiq say things are happening in your surroundings, so youth quicker to sing about the badness and the hype.
Right.
Other than the soca, cause you know really see that jamming and the party thing going on.
Yeah.
You understand? You more likely we hear some shot of fire. You understand? Police are yeah.
And the funny thing about that, which is the point I was raising to my friend, and this is no disrespect or disparaging to any of the stalwarts of soca right now, right? But both of you all, if you think about it, who has been the biggest hip hop artist trending this year? Just off the top of your head, I'll tell you why I get to this point. It would say probably Kendrick Lamar. Right?
Well, I'm not going to say Kendrick because unless the numbers were maybe in my country and them thing. In terms of numbers.
Just numbers.
In terms of numbers and streaming, I would give Drizzy.
Alright, so you say Drake, right? And you say Kendrick, right?
Yeah.
But 4 years ago, one can say who? Randomly, if you can think about it, probably either a Kanye or
50 Cent or
whatever it is.
Or Jay-Z.
The point of, and I've been making this point for a long while, I have much love to everybody who has built the industry, but in an ever dynamic ecosystem that is entertainment and music, you always have to have somebody to take the baton from where the top person is to take it and go to the next level. And for 20 years, we have relatively the same people, you know. We give or take a few guys that have made an insert into the industry, and even them, the argument could be made, not doing the level of shows that some of the other people who have been there for a very long time, what they're doing. And I just wonder why that exists. You know, I hoping, and you know, I say I have plenty of friends in the industry. I have one particular friend in the industry. I won't call his name, but when I have these conversations and he's listening, he's message me and be like, Shabari, really and truly you them blah 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 blah. Yeah. So I really want to have him for that conversation, but I don't know if that is something that you all think as well too, which is why, as you rightfully say, the youth or young people, because they're not seeing themselves in soca.
Yeah, and not just that too. Let me add something else to it, right? As a youth coming up, from my lens, I never see an avenue where soca could do something for me.
Right.
So, and now let me explain what I mean by that. That doesn't mean I never had soca, because I write soca music, I have soca music too.
Right.
But I never see, like how in the streets, a man have a studio open up there and you could be doing dancehall. And a man go say, but you could come by me and record, you know. Soca, man.
You don't have that.
So he doesn't really get it welcoming to the industry. Even if you take it up on his own and say, I like soca music.
Yeah.
You're still not getting the West Coast. I like how I say, hey, you know, I like this dancehall, and it have places I could go.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could run by this one, run by it. When you look at the soca industry, it's few men control the soca rhythms. It's few men control
production.
The production is few men control the mark, everything. The shows, everything, the bookings, everything. So you could tell that is a place that you're not welcome as a ghetto youth. Listen to what I'm saying. As a youth coming up from the ghetto, worse yet if you've been through little 1-2 things where you might have called and they're trying to find back yourself and be a good person.
It's not that forgiving.
They want you there.
Right.
Dancehall will accept you.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So you see the difference? Why the youths would quicker gravitate this way?
Yeah.
You know?
I love that. You know, again, there are so many different point of views, but we always come back to like the same thought pattern. Like the thought pattern is in the universe, you know, everybody talking about it. I guess some people will agree with it, some don't. But at the same point in time, I really appreciate hearing from you guys because again, there are so many misconceptions when it comes down to what you do and why you do what you do. And people would sit down and say, well, you from Trinidad and Tobago, how come you have a soca tune? But you don't really understand the background of how somebody would have gotten into the music that they get into. And look, you just said at the beginning, you listening to everything. You love everything.
Right.
So even if it is that you were motivated to go and sing a soca song.
Somebody saying there, soca artists don't bust new artists unlike every other genre.
Exactly. Somebody
so once a man find that, a man keeping that for himself.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. Watch another example. When you see dancehall artists bossy, they see an entourage, yeah?
Correct.
You ever see a soca bossy entourage?
Well, the voice of Anta.
Understand what I'm saying? Don't listen. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Big up my better voice. Hold on. Big up my better voice. Big up my better voice. Anyway, stand. This is
Vice. What is that? Vice creating that trend to show other soca artists that you could do that like any other genre.
So we ain't talk now. That no, I love how you bring voice into that. You make me now look into voice day.
Right.
Because really and truly, voice is the only soca artist that is seen with plenty other men trying to, you know, and he trying to, you know, even if a man ain't doing so, look, Junior Lee, big up Junior Lee. Voice is a man is give them fellas the strength on his platform.
Right.
If you understand what I'm saying. So, but look at the traditional way of soca, the way of soca custom being. You don't really see. Alright, watch one dancehall management. Watch one Swanee and the whole team is the whole Z-Tech and the whole team.
Right.
If you understand what I'm saying. So this one get a chance, that one get a chance, Plumpy, this one, that one, everybody get a chance.
Right.
It's not so with the soca.
Yeah.
So it really hard for the soca spot now.
Yeah, I hope everybody who tuned into us on Twitch, everybody who's tuned in to the live, and of course on your own personal Instagrams, I hope people listen to this conversation because I guarantee that whenever I have the opportunity to get my artist friend for this conversation, and he's very philosophical, I love him to death. But when we have this conversation, I guarantee I'm going to bring back up the points that you already said, because I always like to hear different points of view. And I think it's a conversation that has to move from just being in a conversation to actual action, right? We could sit and talk here for 10 hours about the same thing, but if somebody not going to pick up the phone and say, yo, let me change this, you know, it will just be continuously into conversation, you know.
But the wrong the thought for me,
Trinidad
on the whole, the people of Trinidad on the whole, I believe we have a mindset that we need to get rid of.
Right.
And even if soca, because again, it have a lot of people who like the soca, who will listen to the soca every day.
Right.
It has soca stations where they play soca, right? I believe.
Right.
I can see. But my thing is this. The mindset of us as Trinidadians, we barely just even push we own thing.
Right.
We barely just support we own thing.
Yeah.
Now I go show you this now. If one of these soca artist, if a dancehall artist, a big dancehall artist, say, I want to collab with you. No, you running and collab with him? Fast.
Right.
He ain't make this one and that one soca. Right? But you wouldn't hear the same soca trying to do the same little dancehall youth in Trinidad and game a play.
Yeah.
You catch where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Sometime I think it was 2020 or 2021 when they had the Trinidad segment on the soca Tiggy
for Soca Monarchs.
Logiq, but I think that gone right across the Caribbean, not just Trinidad. Cause same thing in Jamaica.
Yeah, I
a dancehall artist right now would quicker to do a song with an international artist.
I think there's
a local artist.
There definitely is a transition going on right now.
But Trinidad worse. I would tell you Trinidad worse.
I agree with that to a high extent.
Let me tell you why I would tell you Trinidad worse, and I want this here. When you look at how we talking dancehall here. When you look at how the Jamaican dancehall is operate, right? When Cartel Boss, let me just use some degeneration where everybody would be familiar with. When Cartel Boss was Cartel, Rhino, Popcorn, this one, that one, right?
A
whole team, yeah.
And them fellas was actually able to get a name for themselves.
Each and every one of them.
Lovely that they could now eventually do something, right? No, listen to my thing here now. Even when they separated, whether it was a musical beef
or otherwise,
it never had physical controversy where a man looking to harm an next man.
In a man career like that, right?
In a man career.
In that terms, yeah, Trini need to work on that. Because killing the stars are the stars in the making is a no-no. You understand? And that even go on with the song I was doing with Happy Days. The song I was doing where I telling a lot of artists dead before the starlight, enough you dead before them see the light. You understand? And it's a thing where create a stigma across the whole Caribbean. You have an impact where you make all certain artists don't even want to go Trinidad no more.
Right.
Because they're afraid they go over there and something happen or a man put you on the other side and things. So Trinidad definitely need to work on that for true.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So them is the things. And again, so I was saying, the same way, if we support we only, don't think we could build that soca genre bigger?
Well, as I said, I want to make sure I take both of you up in city, because this is the first show I've been back since June, and we said that we wanted to make it entertainment, but at the same point in time, given the time of the year that we're in, I plan to have much more acts, entertainers, and people within the industry in these conversations. Because when you guys came in, I could have come in and say, well, how you come up with this song, that song, which I think is something that everybody would ask you. Right. But at the same point in time, people need to hear these points of views, because this is what at the end of the day affects you in the long term. Singing a song that will have success, yes, it will have success now, but that motivation, the connections, the relationships that you have to build a lifelong career is really important, that we have those conversations towards action. And that is really what the main things are to come out of all these conversations. Just come up to about 5 more minutes before the top of the hour. Once again, inside here with Logiq and Shaney. We had to wrap up just now, but I want to ask both of you guys something. If there's one thing that you could accomplish now, let me rephrase that. If there's one thing that you want to accomplish, and there are many things, but if there was one major thing that you wanted to accomplish with your career from the point of view where you are now, what do you think that, I know there might be many, if there's one major thing that you want to be able to accomplish with your career, what would that be for you?
Just to be able to reach a balance, where it's on autopilot.
Right.
And I think that is my major thing already.
Right.
Once I could get on rotation, that it autopilot. Yeah, good man.
Yeah.
Once I could contribute my part, I help to dancehall to make sure it lasts, and for younger artists coming up and wanna still maintain the balance of the genre. Well, for me right now, one of the main thing one would want, not just from me, but for any dancehall artist, is to get back a Grammy and put dancehall back on that forefront.
Right.
Because despite we have the king of dancehall, Vibes Cartel and thing, when these awards given out, reggae and every other genre beating dancehall, and that award show very much bad.
Right.
Bad. So if I could achieve something, is to contribute my strength to what whoever dancehall artist could make that happen. I would be proud.
I was going to say that just now, but I remember I'm trying to save the world.
It's not that I'm trying to save the world, but whatever strength I could contribute to whichever dancehall artist could do that, it would feel like a win-win for me in my career.
And in that, the final question I want to ask both of you all, right? Again, I like to have these conversations based on conversations I have with people on the outside. And somebody was telling me recently, the first party that they went to post-pandemic was a house party somewhere in Queens, New York. And the first tune that they heard when they walked into the venue, they feel like they were separated from life forever, and that first tune bring them back to reality. So if tomorrow, of all the tunes that you both have, Shane, I'm gonna start with you. Of all the tunes that you had, if tomorrow somebody was to say, yo, I want to put you in a concert, right, with 100,000 people, 200,000 people, this is the first time they're hearing you, right? They're willing to take anything that you give them. And from all the tunes that you have, there was one particular tune that you want them to hear first. What tune that would be and why?
Blessings of Flow. And the reason for that is a song where, as I tell you, is like a life struggle where everybody could relate it, and is a song we could bring you healing if you're going through a tantrum or anything, you understand?
Right.
That could bring you that sense of humor, feeling the way, give you that push to continue go on even though you're feeling like your day going bad.
Right.
So that would be my song of choice for me, Blessings of Flow.
That's
like a river water.
Logiq, take me on there.
Well, the world know, you know, protection.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tune that is like the tune that I see touch young, old, mid, bad, religious, non-religious.
Right.
I see that song touch bad mind people, and all I see that song touch.
Right.
Bad mind people I see like in the tune, so yeah, that is song.
All them are fight, not we no shorter.
Well, listen. First of all, I want to thank you guys so much for passing through today.
Thanks for
being
having me.
very transparent in conversation. Even though you start off saying, I have no opinion on the soca thing.
I still give my opinion.
He had the opinion, but he was just waiting for you to talk first. Can I give him the invitation to come in with you?
Because it's certain things that I had to cover as a fully representative. I mean, come on, it's the same thing if we talking dance on a different level.
For sure.
He had to hold that part of the board, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can represent him full same way.
Yeah.
You know, but that my place, so I had it.
Yeah, that man.
I had it, you know?
Understood. Let them know where they can find you on social media in case they don't know before.
Yeah, well, Logiq Music, Logiq. Logiq with a Q. Stop typing in the C, please. Thank you very much. Logiq with a Q.
And you go find
underscore music. MUZIK.
Right.
On any platform.
Right.
Yeah, likewise, you could find Shane on Instagram, Shane_E_drag_Lord with a blue tick.
Shane_E_drag_Lord
with a blue tick.
With a blue tick.
Yeah,
verified.
And for TikTok, it's Shaney1Press.
Right.
Official.
How long you guys are going to be in the city for? Again, how long you guys are here for? And where can anybody find you guys in case of any performances or anything coming up that they can find you guys?
I have no performance coming up right now anytime
but
soon.
But people, you can book them because they're here right now. So find them on social and book them, right?
I'm not on any booking terms right now.
You're not on any booking terms right now?
No, not right now.
You're just on chill.
I'm just on a chill vibes right now.
I pass you. Yeah. I like it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Midday Therapy. Yours truly, Shamari KRL, Wonder Twin, DJ Kayla G. We are logging out today. Kayla, you'll be back on when? Saturday morning. 9 o'clock Saturday. 10 to 12, right? So Kayla G will be back Saturday morning, 10 to 12. I will be back with you guys next week, Thursday, right here from 1 to 4 p.m. All right. Whatever you guys do for the rest of the day, make sure and make it great. Keep it locked to GMGT, where the culture lives. And sorry. 2 songs. Yeah. You can play these 2 songs as we head out. So look, listen, people. Make sure and follow Logiq. Make sure and follow Shane E on Instagram. Right. This has been the Midday Therapy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're gonna leave you with the songs of our 2 guests here today. All right. Make it blessed. Shamari Carroll, I'm out, man.
Alright then. Father, I got you among my friends, please. Because we don't know all my enemies. I the one that will stand right beside you. And wanna soak you like them a lead. So me ask God to protect me head in the streets at night. And all of me enemies, yes, Father God, please shine them a light. Oh, Father God, yeah. So guide me from them bad mind people. No, the ones them way I promise. No! Clear now! Alright then, Father, I got you among my friends, please. Because we don't know all my enemies. I the one that will stand right beside you. And wanna soak you like them a lead. So me ask God to protect me head in the streets at night. And all of my enemies, yes, Father God, please shine them a light. Oh, Father God, yeah. So guide me from the bad mind people.
I feel like give me this live, you know. Kayla, from top again. Let me go again.
Alright, come on.
From top again. Let me go.
No.
Listen.
Alright then. Father, I got you with my friends, please. Because we don't know all the enemies. I the one that must stand right beside you. Them can come suck me like them a leech. And so we ask God to protect we head in the streets at night. Alright then. And all of we enemies, yes, Father God, please shine them a light. Oh, Father, guide the way. We begging to guide we from them bad mind people. No, all them we are power with evil. No, take them away, yeah. Well, alright, cause none of them boy, they no like we. Them wants to be dead, so we know them a fight we. And none of them boy, they no rate we. So we know them a beg, shoot a girl wanna date we. Now for them, they like I. See them who wants to be down, they no wants to be sky high. And Father God guide I, GMGT. Alright then, watch a then guide the way, yeah. Say guide we from them bad mind people. No, one day we are power with evil. Take them away, yeah. Know them a watch me.
Excellent.
Kayla.
I want to see Logiq behind bars.
Let me see what I say from Kayla.
And them too fast.
From top, let me go.
Yeah, see me first class. Through them just fast. See me first class. So me beg Father.
One press.
Stop the flow.
Let me go.
We go with them a mad. Mad. All of me link them drag. Drag them quick fixes.
50 caliber sing ship Titanic, Swanee, race them 3 points Sonic. Them can't escape the road, can't run from it. Jaggy set in case speaking in Spanish, no English.
Jaggy.
You know it, bro. Trinidad, we outside.
Mad sitting. All of me link them drag.
GMGT.
Them quick fix.
You know what we does do it.
Kayla, big up yourself one time.
50 caliber sing ship Titanic, Swanee, race them 3 points Sonic. Them can't escape the road, can't run from it. Jaggy set in case speaking in Spanish, no English. Them can't understand it. Fling up the clip or a chick then slam it. Foot twist up by Yannick.
E-Tech, lift your head, ground carbon it. Trinidad, it's a them, it's a them, it's a them, it's a them. Always Julie when me there with me, just a friend. Everything good for now, it's figured up in them. He jaggy them, he jaggy them, he jaggy them, he jaggy them. Always Julie when me there with me jaggy friend. Anyway, in there, simple thing for me up with them. We know that them knows ready. Balance sitting steady. Inna your head, big out a big jelly. Them want start the war and done. The whole of them know say the jaggy them mad. Wave me like me just wave the rap on a carnival time in a Trinidad. Them want start the war and them bad. Alright, the jaggy them, it's just a them, it's just a them, it's just a them. Always chilly when me there with me just a friend. Everything if up now it's figured up with them. The jaggy them, the jaggy them, the jaggy them, the jaggy them. Always chilly when me there with me jaggy friend. Anyway, in there simple thing for me to be them. Drive on the men's cause we wanna catch a dog, wait, reverse, hold through the window something. Hold on, let we out me, we ugly up that place. My friend na go happy when he hear about that one. This is a them. This is a That is it. GMGT.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Midday Therapy GMGT to the world. See you guys when I see you. Keep it locked, GMGT, where the culture lives.
That is it.